Allow the two
It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. Off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call am hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo.
Hello there. Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Maiyegun Live. Thank you so much for joining me. Please read the caption of the broadcast, the description as well, and that will be the header for our conversation this morning or afternoon. A lot is happening right now. And if you have been following, especially the latest from Delta states, join me. These are messages you probably will be seeing on social media as we speak. Pay attention to them.
Glory Facebook. And yes, Glory YouTube. And yes, oh, Baba, and yes,
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Àníyàn tó ra yìí. Ìrẹsì ló bá rú sí o. Àníyàn tó ra yìí. Gómìnà gbówó jẹ. Àníyàn tó ra yìí. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí fa. Àníyàn tó ra yìí.
Thank you so much.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Share this broadcast if you can.
Tó ra yìí. Báwo ló ṣe lù? Àníyàn tó ra yìí. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì í. Àníyàn tó ra kì í. Maiyegun ti pé.
Mo ti dé o. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Maiyegun Live, and this is our Sunday sermon on a very possibly dark Sunday, you know. So here is the story from wherever you are watching from. Currently, there is a part of Niger Delta, put it that way, that is on fire, and it is in retaliation to the killings of reportedly 16 Nigerian soldiers. And the story everywhere right now is some youth in a community killed 16 soldiers, including 2 major generals, 1 captain, and 13 others. And that has sparked rage, okay, to the point that many of the Tifnumbu's ass leakers, I'm talking about the ombud slaves, the bastards, as well as the Arewa jihadists, they have been calling for a total, a wipe-off of the community. Now, this community called Okuoma community in Delta State is majorly Yoruba community. And it also, the another community next to them is that of Okoloba, which is reportedly Ijaw community. Now, these 2 towns or villages, they have been at a long time, or should we say age-long war over land. Whose land is this or whose land is that and all that. And they have been killing themselves for a very long time. But that changed recently. Because according to the report, because of the restiveness of the area, they have a military post around the place just for patrol's sake, okay? Just to keep the 2 of them. So which means the military were supposed to be neutral. Or maybe they were not. So what then happened was that they said there is a politician in Okoloba whose name is still being kept under the wrap. It will still be public very soon. So they said there is this politician who happened to have the connection of the Nigerian government, who has been using the soldiers, the military, to further suppress and oppress the Okuoma people. And that seems to be like an upper hand. But that is not the reason why they killed soldiers. So on that fateful day, which was yesterday, the Nigerian soldiers are, acting on the order of this said politician from Okoloba, invaded this community of Okuoma. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right too. Okay. So when they got there, they went straight to their community shrine. and they demanded to see the chief priest. In that usual Nigerian braggadocio style, the soldiers. So they smelled trouble. So a few other people who joined them, including a child, who joined them to kind of inquire, what's the problem, what's the issue? Unprovoked, the Nigerian soldiers of that community opened fire and they killed 3 people right there, including the chief priest. The news of their priest being killed and other people spread faster. And from what was reported, the young people mobilized themselves. How did young people mobilize themselves and disarmed, fully armed Nigerian soldiers, like in combative mode, or mode rather? Abi, that's the question that I personally haven't figured out. Because from what we heard, these soldiers that were killed, they were like battle ready anyway. But the youth that overpowered them, it wasn't through gun duel or what have you. They disarmed them and sadly beheaded some of them. Now that is an act of terrorism that all of us, as usual, must condemn. And it is now the job of the Nigerian government, okay, like if you have one, to now go after those who actually perpetrated that crime, because it is a crime. The soldiers, they might be acting under the influence of corruption, but none of them deserves, just like the priest killed and others, right? None of them deserves to die that way. But let's roll it back a bit. The soldiers came to a community to carry out an illegality, killed people. So ordinarily, if you disarm them, in my own opinion, to prevent any of this, that would have been the moment what the community has been enduring in the hands of these corrupt soldiers. That would have been the moment to expose that. And that could have been the moment of total relief. But it is Nigeria. So they went over and beyond. So killing them means they've committed crime just like the soldiers did. However, those who committed crimes in a working system, they will be tracked down and they will be made to face the consequences of their action. But not in Nigeria. It won't be sweet. If the Nigerian military don't go into that community and start killing everything that moves, civilian, their homes, burn everything down, kill everything that moves, destroy them. How dare they kill Nigerian soldiers? There's no investigation, nothing is needed. But even in that face of madness, it seems all animals may be equal, but some are more equal than the others. The call for the destruction of Okuoma is mostly coming from northern Nigeria, as well as southwestern part of Nigeria, Yoruba land, unfortunately. And when we say Yoruba land, we do know the black spots on all of our white linens. The Omoluabi is in us. We know those Omoalis because of politics, that have used their left hands to point at their father's house for a bastard that is not so proud enough of his own parent, birth parent. We know those. We know those who kept quiet when Yoruba Obas were slaughtered and killed in Yoruba land by Fulani terrorists. We know them. We know those who kept quiet when their own Remirat was threatened by terrorist imam. We know those who kept quiet. And we also know those who said nothing should be done they will talk to the terrorists that shot down a Nigerian military plane and slaughtered 38 soldiers. These ones didn't deny. They actually came out and owned it. We did it, and we will do it again. But do you know what their governor said? And do you know what these sewage dwellers, ass leakers, do you know what they said? Rest in peace to the dead soldiers. But they weren't calling for the total destruction of the Shiroro community, where those soldiers met their death. Look at this one. This is their governor. Or should I say, this was their governor when 38 soldiers were killed in Niger State, Shiroro. Listen.
Commiserate with the Nigerian Air Force about the losses and the armed forces in general. And also thank them for the collaboration. They've been very supportive, and they've helped us seriously, so they should not relent in their us. And we have come to the villa now, my senator, the member House of Representatives, to also thank Mr. President for his support. And we need a lot of collaboration with both the local communities, the presidency, and even the state. We are looking at two options. First is non-kinetic. As a government, we have put in machineries to start talking to the bandits, the other elements that are not in tandem with living peacefully. So as a government, we've created a Ministry of Nomadic and Pastoral Affairs to look at the issues for the Fulani headsmen. You need to understand that Niger State has the largest congregation in the world of Fulani headsmen. Niger State is 8.3 million hectares of land with bodies of water. The pastoral environment is very good for grazing. A lot of Fulani across the world, not just Africa, converge in Niger State. So we don't want them to leave. So we don't want any major military activities. We want to talk to them.
Yes, that's what he said. And this was in August last year, August 2023. Again, it is Nigeria. And to some of us who know better, so far it is also southern Nigeria. It must be a different rule. But here is something. The people who live in communities that are militarized will tell you, okay, how it is, or how life is, or what life is under the militarized zones, where the people who are supposed to come and keep peace are already compromised. So to some, I think anything that would destroy southern Nigeria is something that majority of those who belongs to APC, majority, I'm not going to say all of them this time, is something that majority will be so happy to make happen if it is going to satisfy their lords and saviors from the caliphate. Because apart from the fact that Nigeria have two rules, one for the north, one for the south, and the one for the south is considered to be the Nigerian law, which doesn't really have any real effect in northern Nigeria. In fact, you have to walk on eggshells to implement one single part of the Nigerian bogus constitutional law in that part of the country. Like it's like two countries in a single place. That's what makes it even more fake. When the Fulani terrorists were kidnapping and kidnapping our people and destroying their farms, villages with evidence for 8 years, all because these Omoanis
who call other people Omoale. Because it's only Omoale that will see the evidence of the destruction of their land. But they are not really concerned, because showing concern means you might lose favor from those who are likely going to make you politically something. And it is also a place where we have these Omoalis that wouldn't mind, right, for whatever pot of porridge they are being offered. I'm talking about the crumbs that falls off the tables of their oppressors. They seems to be more happier when they see destruction, ruins happening. The up south, as in the further south, talking about the eastern part of Nigeria. And this level of self-destruction, this level of blindness, has ruined so many of them, to the point that everything and anything after Ore is considered to be Igbo. So if they have any opportunity of seeing the whole place go up in smoke, they will gladly prompt it and promote it. And since we all know that the Nigeria military is actually not the people's military. Nigeria is the only country in the world where their military, their air force, in fact, their entire security apparatuses, right, are happy to carry out acts of genocide, massacre, act of terrorism on their own people than they will do to defend the country against external aggression. It is the only country in the world that they are so happy. You will see them very happy where they are mobilizing them to go and kill their people. Okay? Soldiers who are supposed to be defending the territorial integrity of a country. They are now the ones providing supposedly internal security because the police are busy collecting bribes, extortion, kidnapping, and all that. So they are not ready for security. So the soldiers themselves are those who are so happy. They will go into a community and they will shoot everything down and burn everything down. Ask Obasanjo, their grandfather, who also laid the precedence in this demonstration of grace they call democracy. Listen to him.
Now, with benefit of hindsight, is there something that you regret today about your presidency? Was that something that you did then that you probably would have done differently?
Me? What? I did everything that I should do the way I should do that.
But what about Odi? The invasion of a village in Odi where the whole village was wiped out.
Of course, if I have soldiers and police who are the instrument by which I should maintain security, and I sent police and they were killed, and I sent soldiers and they were killed, what do you expect me to do? If you were in my position, what will you do? You will fold your arms? You answer me, my dear brother.
Definitely not.
Okay.
Now,
do you see that? That is the mentality of majority of Nigerians. Naturally. And you know why is that? Because Nigeria, most of this older generation, people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, partly 70s, they lived their childhood under the military rule. You touch a soldier, he can slap you and beat you up, and you know what I mean? There's nothing like an assault. You can't charge a soldier for an assault. To them, the civilians are bloody civilians. And these are people who have never really fought any war to say they are protecting the interest of Nigeria. Americans, Europeans, and the army. As much as you may not like some of what they have been doing, but they will go all over the world. Some of them will lose their lives because they believe that if the external threat to their country is not tamed from far and it comes closer to their border, they may not be able to actually ward it off. So the ideology is to say the interest of America, the interest of Europe, the interest of China, the interest of this. And they are training their soldiers, right, on those missions. Nigeria no get any mission. To say, oh, except if Nigeria is playing, what do we call that thing again? Supporters club. And they say United Nations is going to join, they will say Nigeria is joining them. But American soldier, that's a sent-out believer, is doing it. Nigerian soldiers, they have no real mission. Their mission is to guide big men, protect, what do you call it, some important, what they call it, important government properties. That too, maybe not. But it is the only country where soldiers are happy because it is the most, what do you call it, mismatched country in the world. Nigeria is a country of over 200 people. Or should I say 200 nations? That's the fairness. Go check it out. Now, because Nigeria is a mismatch where you have those, all of us from every part of that contraption with a different ideology or the different idea of what Nigeria is to us. There are those who believe that this Nigeria is their grandfather's or great-grandfather's estate. Me, you, who come from other part of Nigeria, we are just tenants in those places. So ideally, they own Nigeria. So we all coexist there. And there are those who are among us who are also trained, okay, to believe that some other people are coming to take over their place or take over their jobs and all of that stuff. I'm talking about us from the West. There are some of us who were raised to believe that a Fulani terrorist with AK-47 is not as dangerous as an Igbo man with his a small bag, small cash that he's bringing over to say he wants to buy and invest. So that man is more dangerous. There are those of us who are raised that way. It's unfortunate too. So in that space, you can then move the Igbo soldiers, move them to Yoruba land, move Yoruba soldiers, move them to the Hausa land, move Hausa soldiers and Fulani soldiers, move them to Igbo land, take Ijaw soldiers, take them straight to the Middle Belt. Middle Belt soldiers, move them to Irobo land, Ijaw land, and then they have no allegiance to those places. Give them the order, wipe this out. But when they say wipe this entire place out, is an order. Let's wipe them out. I don't have any relationship. I don't have anything to do with them. So yeah, anything that moves, burn them, kill them. Inside Nigeria, Nigerian soldiers. Well, in northern Nigeria, they tell them, you need to be very careful in that place. So they will grab soldiers, they will beat them, they will kill them, kill soldiers, right? And make videos of it. And the next moment, they tell you, every time they post you to northern Nigeria as a soldier, you are warned, be careful, especially if you are Igbo or you are Yoruba, as long as you are not Fulani or Hausa or somebody from that part. Because those from there have been moved to the eastern Nigeria. And they know we are going to the east. We want to go and fight IPOB. ESN. No. To them, that mission is to kill anything and everything that looks like Igbo. So that's the country. And that is why it is easier when you see the Lagos Abobakus, the Oshogbo Alimajiris, the bastards, the bad idiots. So when you see them say, burn them, kill them, they are practically backing their own jihadists of the north. Here you get. That also will say, if it is the same people who were calling for the killing of Igboho and justify the killings of the 2 innocent people they killed in his house and the rest of that. Here you get now. So that is where, I mean, that's what you have. A Nigeria of fraud, where the only interest that matter is the interest of the criminals who are supposed to keep me and you safe. But in this case, all animals may be equal, but some are always going to be more equal than the other. And there is a sign that some people are not paying attention to. And that sign is that you call on them to burn down this community. And you forgot a community is more than, is more than the young people you have accused. There are elderly people, there are young people, there are children, there are sick people, vulnerable people in those communities. And it is so justified to some of you that they are fair game, because it is like they are now the people who are, after Ore. Anything after Ore, burn them. They are the problem of Nigeria. This blindness, this hatred, like I told you, has made majority of them believe that the only existing ethnic nationality after Ore, including those of you from Benin, so these bad idiots and bastards, you are all Igbo, and the only fate you deserve is blessing. So I don't want to say what they think. Oh, you do know what I mean, right? So just few hours, indeed, look at this community without any consideration for those who are vulnerable, those that didn't probably have the strength to even challenge the soldiers when they invaded their community. Oh, now look at them. The entire space is deserted. People have run away because they believe that the soldiers will come. And then they came. Like I said, an American soldier on American soil, looking for those who just killed 16 soldiers, 16 Marines in America. They are not going to come in and begin to burn houses. Isn't that an act of terrorism on its own? And that is the usual thing. Obasanjo said, what do you want me to do? I send soldiers, you kill them. I send the military, you kill them. What do you want me to do? That was the president, or it was a president. And indeed, Zarkin Biam, where TV militias, now hear this story, TV militias, they kidnapped some soldiers and they killed them. I think they are about 8 or 9 and killed them. So Obasanjo, and mind you, there were actually the similar crisis of, communities fighting themselves, just like this. Okay? So when they were killed, Obasanjo did not send any investigator. Obasanjo did not send any, any advanced team to keep the civilians safe or evacuate them or anything at all. No. The people, the civilians in that place, who allowed, it's like the civilians allowed the armed militias, people with guns, okay, to go and overpower the military and kill the soldiers. So in Nigerian context, right, they should have stopped them. Or they did not raise their children well. You understand? They did not raise them well. If they raise their children well, they will never try and hold a soldier. And therefore, they should all be wiped out. 38 people were killed. in Zarkin Biam. And then when you go to Odi, similar thing. During the time of the militancy too, that was when some soldiers who were believed to also be working in protection of some certain interest in that Bayelsa. It was at the height of, it was the height of the militancy at the time. So boom, news. They have killed 7 soldiers. 7 soldiers. Before you know it, Obasanjo spent 21 days. That of Zarkin Biam, they spent about 23 days. It wasn't one thing, like they walked in and they just shoot everybody and they went. No. It was a catch and kill operation. Everything and anything that moves must be gone down. That was the order of the president of a country. At the time, 2001. And that's exactly what they did. They killed, and 38 people were slaughtered by the Nigerian soldiers on Nigerian soil. And those soldiers, probably, they are now generals. So it's like it's a thing. You go touch soldier. How dare you go touch soldier? You know to say, now everybody go pay me. That is the mentality of a country that a lot of you want you to believe is populated by educated people. Forget it. It is a complete textbook definition of a failed country. Because you don't, as much as I understand what that Bago guy said last year, preventing, and indeed it was actually a good idea to some extent, okay? Because the terrorists do not need any negotiation, okay? And avoiding any civilian casualty while going after them is also not really a good thing. But a correct government will then say, if the governor knows that Niger State is the biggest concentration of the Fulanis from all over the world in Nigeria, then that will just make the job of the security men easier. So you go straight to Niger State, you put more resources there to fish out the terrorists, their enablers, and let those who are real Fulanis who come to rear cows and live with people, you leave them and let them live their lives, Abi. But that is not what that message was all about. The guy said he would negotiate with the bandits, which means the Fulanis who have, majority of them who live in Niger State, they are welcome, right? As well as the Fulani bandits. They call them bandits, we call them terrorists. But this guy shot down. How can people with the rear cow shoot down military jets? How? Now, what did they take shoot down? AK-47? Because they've got these terrorist weapons that the governor himself is aware of. So, to use the civilians as a shield was pretty much smart. Okay? For on his part, but in this community of Okuoma, we do not know if those who disarmed the soldiers, even if they were we don't even know if they are from the community. Okay? There is no investigation. There is nothing other than soldiers have been killed in Okuoma, and the youth that killed them, they will pay the price. That is great. Investigate and find them. They've committed murder. And by your law, do what they do to those who murder people. But why burn down the entire community? Why burn down the entire? You see? They have to burn the community down to send warning to others. How? How is an act of terrorism perpetrated by your own country against your own people? Sending signal to who? Why would anybody even wake up and say they want to kill soldiers? So who are you sending message to other than to track down the real criminals. Is that not what we have also been asking for when we have seen the terrorists that have boldly and repeatedly come out to say, yes, we carried out that attack. Yes, we did this. Yes, we did that. What are you going to do about it? Severally. Now, do you know why I'm saying this today? Because I want it to be on record that they might not have told you the full story or the true story of the killings. And as much as the soldiers do not deserve such death, it is barbaric. Okay? It is barbaric. And in fact, they can be treated as terrorists. Those who are able to carry such act out. Okay? And it is similar to that of the terrorists they are pardoning in northern Nigeria. You don't let criminals go. You don't pave way. You don't pardon them. You don't give them amnesty. And you don't punish the innocent. Currently, they are already picking up every young person they can still find around in that place. Well, a lot of us know that those who have the audacity and the courage to disarm a team of soldiers, 2 generals, 1 captain, 13 others, soldiers with their guns, I don't think such people can be randomly found just roaming about anymore, knowing what they have done. So I 100% believe that apart from the innocents that they are going to kill or burn their properties, or they have already done, majority of those they are going to display as the arrested perpetrators are going to be innocent people. Just think about it. You have 16 soldiers, not 1, not 2, not 3. 16 armed soldiers with 2 major generals. What would these soldiers be looking for at the community shrine that they demanded to see the chief priest, and then they killed him? What could they be looking for? And the kind of people, or the kind of young or old people that would disarm 16 soldiers, I don't think there will be people that are still going to be available and be roaming but it is Nigeria. They need to show walking. And I hope the rest of the world is also watching this. Nigerian Army, they are the only army in the whole world that are so happy to teach their fellow citizens a lesson by massacring innocent civilians just to prove a point. I know very soon I will have more of these videos, the videos of those who actually perpetrated this. And as we speak, it seems to have already been sanctioned by the powers that be. So the fate of everyone in that community is already sealed, signed, and delivered. The only military in the world. When the people are under terrorist attack, they usually last for hours. You will never see the military. You will never see the police. Only when the terrorists are gone, then they will move in order to arrest every young person that seems to be grouping to go after the terrorists. That is Nigeria. So in this case, I just hope that the rest of the world are seeing this. And with what Nigeria has become, those of you who are asking that they should bomb them to death, they should bomb them to dust. Here is how Nigeria work. Just for your own, for your own keep. The way Nigeria work is that, you see that community of Okuoma and then Okoloba, who have known or who have been sort of enmeshed in violent struggle over land for decades means they have already been losing their loved ones on the path. But similar things are happening all over Nigeria too. And apart from that, with the way Nigeria is structured, especially if you are from southern Nigeria, we from southern Nigeria, you see this act of military invasion and then killing people or wiping out a community, we are not really far from it. We are not by any means safe from it. Okay? A lot of you will live abroad with your military mentality, all right? The military oppressive regimes that you were born into. There was a time when a community in Abeokuta resisted the Fulani herders and their cows from entering their community because from their experience, when they come into their communities that way and passing through, they ended up, destroying their farms and all that. So they decided to gather together and say, no, we will no longer let them graze through this place anymore. So it was a battle that ordinarily would have cost them their lives, but they managed and they rebuffed the Fulani herdsmen from coming in to destroy their farmland. They're just a small farming community, all right, who have lost so much and abandoned. And they said they have made several complaints to the nearest military barrack, Oloson, Abiolodo, whatever it's called, in Abeokuta, but with no response from them. The police and all of, including the government, no response from them until they took their destiny into their own hands and mobilized themselves. And they stopped the advancement of these Fulani herdsmen. In fact, it turned to a battle, but they still won. In return, do you know what happened? The Nigerian military mobilized their soldiers, 30 of them. They mobilized them into this community and they call out one by one all the men who participated in that resistance. Nigerian soldiers, they brought them all out and they beat them openly. Now you can do a moment, okay, grab your phone, all right, and search for what I just told you. When villagers, elderly men were beaten by Nigerian Army for resisting Fulani others in their community. Okay, that happened under Bokwari. They beat them up. And you know what they told them? They said, listen, if you don't stop this that you are doing, what is your problem? Let them go wherever they want to go to. If you don't stop it, see, one day, when they come and attack you, you will call for help and we will not answer you. I will never forget that. That's what they told those old men. All their back, the latches, the stamp, the bruises and all that. Old men, I'm talking about men in their maybe 60s, 70s, 80s. No joke, real thing happened. That's how they felt. It was the Nigerian Army that threatened them. That if they continue resisting the Fulanis and their cows, one day they will come for them. And if they are under attack, they will never answer them. Nobody was queried or investigated for that. Nobody was arrested. This picture, these videos were all over the internet at the time. Yes. So that simply means you are here watching me right now. You have opinion. Kill them all. What nonsense. How can they kill soldier Maiyegun? Maiyegun, let us be honest. I mean, if anybody, I know the military mind that is speaking through you. I have heard it many times. So you don't really have to come and disgrace your family here. I know millions of you with that military mentality. What I am saying to you right now is that it is so wrong that if you don't think it is wrong, one morning you are here typing, the news will break. The Nigerian soldiers are killing everybody in the community, and you look it up, that will be your community. And that will be the time you will want to tell us the story. Maiyegun, let me tell you what happened. I can't believe this. Can you even imagine? Maiyegun, do you know the true story? Nobody will listen to your true story then. Impunity reigns. And Nigeria, where you have corruption and bad government, they are both like stray bullets. I'll keep reminding you. That will hit anytime and nobody will listen to you. Obasanjo just started it. And everybody refers to it today. 23 years after, we still refer to it. Odi and Zarkin Biam. Odi and Zarkin Biam. Odi and Zarkin. You know what I mean? Where people were slaughtered and killed and properties were destroyed. Obasanjo is an elder statesman. Interview him 1 million times. He will tell you he did the right thing because it was the right thing. Yes, we need to show the people that. But it could happen anytime. And you would want to tell the world. That is not what happened. They just destroy our home. It is what Nigeria is. It's a fair game. But that is not the right thing. Okay? These are the signs of a failed country. That Nigeria is still existing is, to many, a miracle. And somehow, to those who have a strong faith, those who have a stronger faith, they keep believing that maybe that is why they believe that Nigeria, maybe something in Nigeria has a future. God has a purpose for Nigeria and the rest of that, because ordinarily, Nigeria shouldn't even be existing anymore. Not in this state, not like this anymore. It is a complete sign of a failed state. And it is better to call your military out as well, because you will be, or you might be their next victim, but you will be their victim one of these days. And it is like we say, turn by turn, Nigeria Limited. Well, here, I found this on the street of London, I heard. Maybe not. Anyway, that will be our sermon this morning, while we'll get ourselves ready for later in the evening, where details, more on this, will likely come up, and more from others too. So thank you so much. All right. I will see you again later this evening. So take it easy and you have a wonderful day. Good morning.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Maiyegun Diary politico. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun Diary. súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Presido bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnrakì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnrakì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnrakì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnrakì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ̀rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnrakì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnrakì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ̀rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnrakì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnrakì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ̀rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lérí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnrakì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnrakì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnrakì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnrakì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ̀rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.